Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 53 of the Own the Moment podcast. My name is TJ Laessig. I'm one of the co-founders here at OTM. I am back for another edition of the weekly recap podcast, where we're going to talk through everything that happened this week in NBA Top Shot. It was a little bit of a slower week in the Top Shot world, which, you know what, is not such a bad thing. We had our standard week here at Own the Moment. Monday night, we had Andy on as a guest. Super awesome guest. Andy, one of the OGs of Top Shot, one of the OGs of the NFT space, very sharp guy. I'm sure you guys know him, but if you want to hear some really in-depth conversation between him and Justin, he also dove into his thoughts on, kind of the mindset of being an OG. I know that's a popular topic of conversation in the Top Shot world. I'm actually going to touch on that and give my personal thoughts on it a bit later, but definitely check out the show with Andy. I thought it was a great one. And then on Wednesday, Justin and I recorded the strategy show, talked through some of the challenges, talked through a few of the things that Roham has said on Twitter over the past couple of days. So I thought we had a really great conversation there before Justin headed off to the Tampa Bay Lightning game. Must just be so nice to be a Tampa sports fan right now. Easy game. Here I am suffering through the Sixers, the Eagles, the Flyers, and Tampa is just Lightning, Bucks, easy game. Must be nice down there in Florida. Anyways, we've still got the NBA playoffs trucking along here, but man, it's the injuries. It's just a shame. We already had the Clippers going at it without Kawhi Leonard. Then we had Trae Young go down. Then we had Giannis go down, and just seeing Bucks versus Hawks in the Eastern Conference Finals without Giannis, without Trae, it's just a shame. But Bucks up 3-2 in that series. Suns have moved on to the finals. Justin's boy, Chris Paul. I mean, I think everyone's boy, Chris Paul. Like, how can you not like Chris Paul? Just seems like an awesome guy. Been around the league forever. Would love to see him get, not just, obviously he got his first finals appearance, but would love to see him take it home for the Suns and Devin Booker. And it's a good squad they got there. They're fun to watch. On the Top Shot side of things, we've got 4 challenges that are wrapping up today. So I'll go ahead, share this out here on the OTM site. They'll be wrapping up in the next couple of hours. I think at 1 o'clock Eastern time this afternoon. We've got NBA playoffs round 2, challenges 3 and 4. We've got Metallic Gold, challenge 31, and Hollow Icon 8. So you can find in the Herzig bot section the challenge analysis for the Metallic Gold as well as for the Hollow Icon. So definitely check that out. Justin breaks down everything from how we expect prices to react after the challenge ends through to what value do we believe the Kyrie Irving reward is going to have. And it's great information to kind of evaluate not only if you want to complete the challenge, but if you are in the challenge, if you own moments that are in the challenge, what you want to do with them. So definitely make sure you're staying up to speed on that. You can create an account on the OTM site and get access to that next level analysis information. We also added a new section to the site just yesterday. So we added a team section. So if you go up on the top under the market dropdown, you'll find teams. And what we have here is the cost to acquire each of the teams. So this is a focus on the collector score. So obviously right now there are bonuses from a collector score perspective if you own either all the players from a given team or all the Series 1 players, all the Series 2 players. So what we do here is we pull in the lowest price for each player, total those up, display that for every single series. And we're also going to be adding the collector score bonus itself to this page so that you can kind of get a feel for what's the best dollar per or point per dollar way to go about collecting these teams. But it's also just a fun little thing you can check out. We saw yesterday the Suns were some of the top gainers, but you can go ahead, check out your favorite teams. I can check out my Philadelphia 76ers here, slightly down over the last 24 hours. But then we get to the individual page, team page here. You can see the price for all, Series 1, Series 2. You can then also see the graph for each, so you can flip between all Series 1 and Series 2. And then same thing in the table below. So you can see which of the moments comprise of the cheapest way to acquire an S1 and S2 or the full team set. And then just all the moments listed below, as well as the recent transactions. So lots of stuff here. I think it's some good information. You can also select the old purple hearts to favorite your teams and then find them on your profile page. So if I go on over to my profile, you'll now be able to see that the Philadelphia 76ers are, sadly, very, very sadly, but they are my favorite team indeed. And I'll be tracking those prices over time, tracking the news for the Sixers over the course of the offseason. So here we go. I've already got my favorite moments. I've got my favorite sets. And now I've got my favorite teams as well. So if you want that personalized look, go ahead. Up in the top right, you can create your account here on the Own the Moment website. We're going to continue to pump out some good stuff. In other news, we saw some NFT news happening across the space. So first we saw Twitter coming out with their own NFTs. So I thought that was cool. They were did kind of a Twitter takeover an NFT takeover of their Twitter account. And then we saw the Boston Celtics come out with their Heritage Series. So they've got some NFTs that are being sold on OpenSea right now. So you can go check those out. And all that really says to me is that we're just seeing the beginning for NFTs here. There's plenty more to come. Top Shot is just one aspect. We saw earlier with the Golden State Warriors, with the Hornets, teams coming out with their versions of NFTs. I'm sure we will continue to see more of those going forward. All right, another thing that I wanted to cover is that last Sunday I did an Ask Me Anything in the Discord. So we try to do that. We were doing it for a while every Sunday night. We're going to try to get back to it. But yeah, people just asked me a bunch of questions. I figured I could go high level over some of the things that I was asked about and just kind of my perspective on them. So, I mean, one question or some of the questions was just around the state of the market, right? What are my thoughts on the fact that prices are going down, on the fact that the market for higher end moments does not seem to be there? And yeah, I think it's a combination of things. I think overall, the crazy boom that we saw in February was never realistic and has kind of now embedded these unrealistic expectations into all of our minds of just the sheer amount of crazy volume, right? Back in February, you felt you couldn't sleep because there was just so much action happening in the Top Shot world. And that's not healthy, right? I literally remember like not sleeping for a while because it felt like if you were sleeping, you were going to be losing money. So I think that just set up unrealistic expectations. I think we all then know what kind of happened there. We saw a mismatch of the supply demand. The supply has been pumped to extreme levels. The demand has not been there to meet that supply. And to me, that just kind of ends up where we are today. And my view of it is that heading into Series 3, we'll see a bit of a different game. I think it's going to be a more fixed thing where we know ahead of time the number of moments, sets, etc., that we are expecting to see for the full series. And I think it just becomes more of a long game, more of a buy and hold game. I think that from like a day trading perspective, there will definitely be opportunities and some fun things to do, but I think most of them will revolve around the utility in some way, whether it's challenges or quests or whatever other gamification aspects that the Top Shot team comes up with. And that's what we'll continue to focus on and Own the Moment and make sure that we're providing the best ways to go about that. Like we had the quest that dropped this week where the scoring quest. So we had the dime quest last week. We had the scoring quest this week. And we're clearly seeing some just different things that kind of mix in a little bit of that daily fantasy aspect with the moments. So I like what I'm seeing there. I mean, the playoff mints too much. This is a similar question, right? And what I shared is like my view of, yes, I think that maybe there were too many moments, but also the Roham directly has said that their goal is to get packs into new people's hands. We reviewed on Wednesday some of the metrics that they're looking at in terms of engaged users. They have this kind of magic number of 2 packs purchased, 2 marketplace buys indicates a longer term engaged user. And I think that that's a lot of why we've seen the reservation packs, why we've seen the kind of overabundance of playoff packs, why we've seen all these quests, is that it's quick, easy ways to get people engaged, get them comfortable with the platform, buying, selling, getting pets, etc. And, I think it's very intentional. And yeah, is it concerning when we put all these playoff packs out there and they don't sell out right away? Absolutely. Absolutely, it's concerning. But it is what it is, and we'll keep things moving. Let's see, what's another one? Someone asked if I plan to sell my cool cats and all the quote unquote perks that go with it. And you know what? No, I don't. First off, I can't. Second off, I'm not going to. I mean, I don't know. To me, it's just a very nostalgic. It'll always kind of be a reminder of the glory days / then the dark days of Top Shot. And I just have a lot of attachment to my cool cats, and it's like good memories for me, and any money that I would get from that is not really worth it for me. I just also had some questions about like reintroducing collector score on the website. What are the challenges that I'm facing at Own the Moment? And really, both of these questions come down to prioritization. There's endless things that we could do at Own the Moment, and there's endless things sitting on our backlog that we talk about. And there always will be, right? No matter how big of a team you get, there's always going to be more things to do. And we're just focused on providing the things that we think are unique and different, and providing something that does not exist elsewhere, right? So like collector score, you can get collector score on your Top Shot site. You can get it on some other sites. That's already out there. We wanted to prioritize something like this team sets pricing. There's nowhere else where you're able to get that information. So we wanted to get that info to the people. We've got a couple other ideas that are going to bring a unique spin to some of this data. So that's our focus right now. Trying to innovate in the space, trying to be unique and different with the different things that we were coming out with. And then, yeah, I mean, I'll touch on this. I'll touch on the fact that I got questions about the self-imposed ban and, Own the Moment not buying and selling in the marketplace. And I've been questioned on this a couple times from people, and I understand why people would question that. It's an overreaction, yada, yada, yada. And like maybe on the surface it looks like that, but honestly, there's a conflict of interest here. That's the bottom line. We're putting out analysis that sometimes impacts how the market moves, and we can't be participating in that market and also providing that analysis at the same time. There's always going to be ethical decisions that we have to talk about internally of like, oh, if we put this analysis out, what can we do? What if I put out a challenge analysis and I happen to have a moment that's in the challenge and I don't even realize that I have it? And then, people are like, oh, they're just pumping this challenge because they have it sitting in their accounts. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I just know that it's easiest right now that we focus on Own the Moment, and we focus on providing the best, highest quality content that we can. And honestly, I think we've been more laser focused internally than ever since being unable to purchase in the marketplace. We're just dialed in on what we want to do here, how we can best help the community. And that was the thought process at the time, and it's still the thought process now. Doesn't mean that we can't revisit in the future, but for the foreseeable next couple of weeks, months, we will continue to operate that way Own the Moment. And I think it was the right decision, and I stand by it. The whole team stand by it. And that's that. All right, let's get into some takeaways here. TJ's top 3 takeaways of the week. Number 1, it was good to hear straight from a quote-unquote Top Shot OG on Monday in Andy. There's a lot of conversation about this. It's something that I talked with my man, the judge, last week. People are upset that the OGs are selling their moments, and I really like Andy's perspective on it. Now, granted, he said that it's just his one personal situation. He obviously does not speak for all, but it made a ton of sense because think about your situation, right? Think about you're just a normal guy or girl, whatever. You happen to find Top Shot. All of a sudden, your Top Shot moments that you bought become worth literally millions of dollars. And you weren't a millionaire before, right? And so now 80+% of your net worth is in Top Shot moments. Of course, you're going to try and sell them. Why? Like Andy said, it would be irresponsible not to. We've heard Mike Levy say the same thing. irresponsible not to. And they understand the optics of it. But the fact of the matter is, no matter how bullish you are on something, you never want all your eggs in one basket. It just doesn't make sense for them. And also, and he like literally says, like, I'm trying to buy a house, and you can't buy a house with Top Shot movements. So I thought that was a great perspective. I really loved how authentic and transparent he was in talking through that. So definitely recommend checking out that section from Andy if you are kind of questioning the OGs, questioning why they're selling. I think it shed some pretty good light on what's going on in the thought process of someone like that. My second takeaway is, that we are still just in the beginning of what we're going to see from NFTs. And, part of me, I'm talking about this all day with a number of people. Like, what does the future of NFTs look like? What do utility look like? We see the Celtics coming out with their NFTs. We see Twitter dropping NFTs. And I just want to say that, like, the collectibles aspect is one piece right now, and that's what we've seen to date. But this space is going to continue to evolve. We're going to continue to see innovative ways to add utility to the NFTs, whether it's real world experiences or in-game experiences with NBA Top Shot, et cetera, et cetera. I just want to, we're so early in this, and the innovation is still happening, and people are still really figuring this out. So I think that there's a lot of awesome stuff down the pipeline just in the NFT space in general. And number 3, kind of going along with that, we always take time to relax. It's July 4th weekend. Sit down, have yourself a beer if you enjoy that kind of thing. Do whatever you like to do. Sometimes we get caught up in this little like Twitter bubble of, oh my God, Top Shot NFTs, pickles, cats, whatever the new avatar of the week is. Take some time to chill. And we're thinking of ways here in the moment that we can allow that to happen, because I get this sense of like, oh, I feel like I can't miss anything because then big news is going to happen and then I'm not going to be taking advantage of it, yada, yada, yada. We're just in the beginning here, folks. We got a long way to go. So take this July 4th weekend to relax just a bit. Speaking of that, I'm pretty sure we're going to take off Monday and not do a Monday show in the spirit of the 4th of July holiday. So just so you know, I think we're just going to have one show next week. Okay, my tilt of the week. People are really sleeping on Top Shot a bit here. I mean, I don't know. It's like the Bored Apes thing started, and don't get me wrong, I think the Bored Apes is cool. I think they look cool. I think the community's sweet. I think the whole idea is great. But like, it's getting a little bit tilting that, now every time there's this new, it's like I see a new thing on Twitter every day. We got these moon cats now, or whatever they're called. We've got all these avatars, and it's just a little tilting. It's a little tilting. I'm not going to lie. And like, no one wants to talk about Top Shot anymore. They want to talk about gutter cats and whatever else. Cranium. Like, I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe everyone's into that, or maybe there's just like a small group of very loud people that are into that. I'd be curious people's thoughts. Like, are we into that? Are we not into that? I don't know. Maybe I'm tilted because I don't get it. Maybe that's why I'm tilted. But like, something about it just tilts me when I see all these things every day. And it just seems like we got to come up with something original here, people. We can't just come out with another animal, another inanimate object that is now my avatar, but then next week it's going to be a different one. And then 2 days after that, another one. Okay. I can't go on anymore. Maybe I'm more tilted about it than I realized. I was just like, I'll talk about these avatar things. That'll be funny. But like, I don't know. I do not know. All right, guys. Ooh, a little long today, almost 20 minutes. I'm sorry about that. It's okay. You guys can handle it. I hope everyone enjoys the holiday weekend. We will be back on Wednesday for the strategy show. We'll be taking off Monday. We'll be taking off Sunday night. Everyone, enjoy your time. And on behalf of Justin, on behalf of producer Coop, I'm TJ Laessig. We will see you guys next time.